Hey surf fans, Paul Evans here. Today we're going to talk about this board right here. It's from Channel Island Surfboard. It's the Neckbeard. Don't forget, as ever, to subscribe to the Akewatu channel down here. You can like as well. Why don't you give that little bell a ding? Once you've done all that, as my man Noel Salas would say, why don't you prepare yourself your favourite drink? When you've got that favourite drink, throw it at the fucking wall. Okay, what's the Neckbeard all about? Okay, this version is the Neckbeard 2. So deep Channel Islands or Dane Reynolds fans may remember the Neckbeard back from the early 2010s. A step down model with a really chopped off tail. So the big thing about the board, they chopped the tail off. So originally this was taken off a Shane Beshan model Channel Islands board, and Dane wanted to chop the tail off. Hence the name Neckbeard comes from Beshan's lovely little furry growth on the neck, which I think he's still got. All right, so overall that outline, pretty similar to a performance board with kind of step down vibes. So maybe for slightly smaller waves, head high or under sort of region, and for really explosive kind of surfing. So we chopped off that tail, essentially completely mixed up where the back end of the board works. For aggressive kind of explosive surfing, you don't have to surf like Dane Reynolds, unlikely that you do, but that sort of surfing, above the lip flare, finishing up hard carves with slide in the fins, that sort of thing. And you can see in the overall shape, we've got a little bit of a wide point forward compared to a high performance shortboard. Obviously, the big thing is that chopped off tail. Overall, generally speaking, this is a board that just wants to be surfed pretty hard. Okay, let's take a look at that rocker and foil, the Neckbeard 2, as this is. The entry rocker, it's pretty relaxed, so not a lot there up in the nose. Then we've got a decent kind of flattish area through the middle of the board, not heaps. And then into that tail, again, it's a relatively relaxed rocker going out of the tail there. Think about that chopped off kind of concept of the tail. If you had more tail there, the rocker would continue, but we end quite abruptly. So moderate rocker throughout, and the overall distribution of the foam, most of the meat is in the middle of the board. There's still quite a bit through the tail, so you know, if you are a more powerful surfer and looking for something to surf pretty hard in the pocket on smaller waves or even slightly bigger waves, this thing's going to fit really well into those tighter pockets with a nice distribution of foam throughout. Should we talk about the bottom? Let's. All right, so this thing is very single and ready to mingle. We're talking single concave throughout, from right up, kind of under your sort of chin when you're paddling, but all the way through the main part of the board. A pretty pronounced single concave. Now the original Neckbeard, the V1, had a single that went to a V out the tail. Pretty standard for a lot of shortboard designs to go to a V out the tail. Dane apparently didn't like that, doesn't like the V. So this one of the changes for this is that single concave that goes all the way right out through the tail of the board as well. So single running all the way through. Okay, this one is in your classic PU construction. Got a little bit of carbon in here to reinforce the tail because you are going to be blowing up. So that tail plot is going to take a little bit of abuse. In terms of dimensions, this particular one is a 5'7", 19 3/8, coming in at 28.1 litres. Okay, the Neckbeard 2 comes with a thruster or a tri-fin if you prefer setup. 3 fins there. And that is essentially all designed to complement all the other aspects of this design to make it surf wherever you really want to go in the pocket for super kind of aggressive surfing. You want something to step down, but you don't want to go fishy. You want elements of your high performance shortboard. You basically want to turn pretty hard, flare up above the lip. The Neckbeard 2, well, it works pretty good for Dane. It could work for you too.